New tonight, we're focused on the safety and security of our children going to school and coming home, especially when dangerous intersections are involved. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Mastry.
And I'm Erin Sullivan. Now, this is the reality for some Papillion families, and tonight they are demanding answers from the school board. First Alert 6's Andrew Pfeiffer was also there tonight, and he joins us now live in the studio. Andrew.
That's right, Brian and Aaron. I spoke with multiple parents tonight who say the school board just needs to make the right decision. After 2 students were struck by vehicles while walking to school in January, parents are pushing the district for safer alternatives.
Kids are having to cross highways like 370, 72nd, Giles, and Cornhusker. But we have 0 options right now. They just choose not to bus at all.
For some Papillion students, it's not a brisk walk to school.
This is not a short neighborhood stroll. It is a significant commute that raises real safety concerns.
Parents tonight went before the school board, objecting to a state law implemented in the school board's policy.
5701 was written in 1927. A rule designed for horse-drawn carriages and rural pastures 99 years ago.
Students living within 4 miles of a school do not have access to buses. These parents want that to change and are asking the school to provide more bus routes. For parents in the military, they are always able to take their kids to school.
It's not something that isn't easy to navigate for them, and I would hate for them to move here and then have a 4-mile walk for their children, which is an hour and 20 minutes.
The community wants this, that we need busing and safe transportation options.
While the district could not reply to public comment, Papillion La Vista Superintendent Dr. Andrew Rickley mentioned he wanted to prioritize school safety while balancing fairness to the taxpayers. School officials say adding more bus routes would cost more than $1.5 million.
You don't have to raise taxes to do this. This is about priorities.
Some parents question why the school would spend money for other things, like new computers or a new school track.
The question is not whether resources exist, it is how we choose to allocate them.
You have millions for the track and early tech upgrades, but when it comes to transportation required to keep 12-year-olds from walking alongside Highway 370, you claim it's too expensive to provide buses.
After 2 children were hit by vehicles this year alone, parents are paying closer attention.
You can give runaround answers to my emails, but you can't ignore the 20,000 neighbors watching now.
The PLCS superintendent also mentioned that this is a matter the district is going to continue to look into and that the public comments are being heard. Reporting live in the studio, Andrew Pfeiffer, First Alert 6.
No doubt we'll be checking in.